And how many people think it's impossible? Alright. If 20 divided by 2 equals 10, can we go the other way around? Can we say something? Yeah. What can we say? 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, 10 times 2 equals 20. Yes?
That can't be right because 10 times 0 is
Right. What is 10 times 0?
0.
0. So there's something wrong with this, right? If it works out that 15 divided by 5 is 3, so 3 times 5 is 15, you can't get 10 times 0 to be 10.
So it's impossible because you can't do 0 times 0 to be 10.
Right. You can't, there's nothing that you can multiply by 0 to get anything but 0. So putting all these ideas together, what do you guys think? Yeah.
Like infinity,
Infinity?
there's like infinite times it can go into any number.
Alright, so we can take a sequence approach to seeing why 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So first off, let's look at what happens when we divide by 0, but we approach 0 from the positive side. So what I mean by this is, let's let the denominator get closer to 0. So for example, 1 divided by 1/2 is 2. Well, let's get closer to 0. 1 divided by 1/3 is 3. Okay, let's skip some numbers. 1 divided by 1/10 is 10. Let's skip a lot of numbers. 1 divided by 1/100,000th. Right there. That'll still give us 100,000. Okay, and so what you can see is happening is as the denominator is getting closer and closer to 0, what's really happening is we're approaching infinity. So if we decide to take this from the negative idea, so we're going to approach 0 but from the negative side, we get the same kind of idea. So negative 1/2 is going to give us negative 2. 1 divided by negative 1/3 is going to give us negative 3. Okay, let's skip some numbers again. 1 divided by negative 1/10 is going to give us negative 10. Skip a lot of numbers. 1 divided by negative 100,000 is going to give us negative 100,000. And yet again, as we get closer and closer to approaching 0 from the negative side, what we're going to end up seeing is that 1 divided by this number is going to give us negative infinity instead of infinity. So, in other words, what happens is, if we approach 1 divided by 0 from the right side, so what this means is from the positive side of it, we're getting something that looks like infinity. But if we approach 1 divided by 0 from the negative side, what we're getting is negative infinity. But which one is the actual answer? Since there's no definite solution to what the 1 divided by 0 is, what we really say is 1 divided by 0 is undefined.
Can everybody agree with that now?
Yeah, but
Tell us the answer.
You guys came up with the answer.
it's impossible.
But is that the answer?
Yes.
What basically I told you now, and what you guys have, is that basically all of those rules that you you learned in elementary school where they told you that anything divided by 0 is 0? All those teachers were not telling you the truth.
Your teachers lied to you.
They lied to you. Now, I will have you know, I did not teach you that multiplication task.
So it's
absolutely impossible.
The thing is that when you do this, like there's no specific number that you can say works. So we just say that it's undefined.
Undefined. That's the fancy word. Write that big on your paper. Undefined. That's the fancy word for you today. Undefined. This is for first period. Undefined is the more specific way to define to define.
Sun been down for days, a pretty flower in a vase, a slipper by the fireplace.